right, I want to welcome in our powerhouse panel. The topic today is peeps. No, the whole gang is back with us right now. Yeah, the peeps are still in the house, in that confetti that goes in the Easter baskets, Emerald. The kids have gotten the confetti. It's all over the house now. It's literally going to be impossible for me to try to clean this stuff up. It's going to take 6 months. It's everywhere.
That's why I avoid confetti and glitter.
So smart.
Confetti's
I'm going to have
slightly better than glitter. The glitter bomb. Remember when people were sending glitter bombs to their enemies?
Right.
That's like one of the worst.
That's the worst. Where does the Easter Bunny live? I'm going to write him a strongly worded letter. Is he in the North Pole too?
Apparently he lives at the White House. Did you see him in the briefing room on Monday?
He had a mask on with glasses too. He's getting older, I guess. Yeah, that's Joe Biden's Easter Bunny. All right, something happening in the state of New York. We've got, we're starting, the picture is starting to take shape of who will be running against Governor Andrew Cuomo, the embattled governor of New York in 2022. Newsmax contributor Andrew Giuliani, a friend of mine, it was everywhere yesterday. He could be running. Nothing has been confirmed, but that's a possibility. We know that Lee Zeldin is a confirmed candidate on the Republican side. Janice Dean has been rumored to be somebody that could run as well. But Amy, at some point, the Republicans are going to have to find the right person to go up against a very vulnerable Andrew Cuomo in 2022.
Yes, and unfortunately, I think the list is going to grow. Just like we're also seeing in California, you have, possibly being rumored that Caitlyn Jenner, people are wanting The Rock, the movie star. You've got Richard Grenell. So, I mean, I think you've got on both coasts people that are very frustrated with their lack of leadership, and this list is going to be lengthy. And the other thing that Republicans will have a problem with is we do not historically tell people who should run and who should not run, where the Democrats fall in line with whatever their party leadership tells them for the most part. So they're really good at narrowing down their nominees as opposed to Republicans, throwing out 10, 12, 14, 15 people as an option.
Chris, I'm curious to get your perspective, just as somebody who lives in the Midwest. The Giuliani and Cuomo names in the state of New York, they're like the Kennedys in Massachusetts and the Bushes in Connecticut. They're kind of, they're big political families there. That would be a very interesting race.
Yeah, it would. I think that Governor Cuomo is very vulnerable because of all the problems that he has. I think he's been very fortunate. The Chauvin trial, with the vaccination success and this boycott with MLB All-Star game, I think that's gotten that off of the pages. But I think once that dies down a little bit, this is going to come back. Giuliani is a good candidate, has the name recognition. I don't know if he is moderate enough for New York. They kind of pick moderate Republicans for their governors. But I think that he could run a credible race and could raise the money. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. By the way, so I said, don't forget, it was Prescott Bush. He was a senator in Connecticut. I know everyone says Texas. You could say Kennebunkport, Maine, too, Rick. I know you were smiling at that. Yeah, I'm going to have Andrew Giuliani on the show in a little bit, too. We're going to be talking about the Masters. He's a very accomplished golfer as well. Almost made the PGA Tour, but we're going to be talking about that. And I'll ask him about that as well. But right now, I want to play you a video. I want to talk about what's going on the southern border, and a video that was everywhere late yesterday. An immigrant boy was found alone in the desert, really emotional. Take a look.
¿Ah? ¿Me puede ayudar? ¿Qué pasó? Es que yo venía con un grupo de personas y me dejaron botar y no sé dónde están. ¿No sabes dónde están? ¿Te dejaron solo? Pues claro, me dejaron botado. ¿Te dejaron solo botado? Solo. ¿No vienes con mami o con papi o con alguien? ¿Ah? ¿Vienes con tu mamá o tu papá? Nadie. Yo venía en un grupo que venía de entrega con usted y al final me dejaron botado y venía aquí a pedir auxilio.
My goodness, Rick, it absolutely breaks your heart to see that. It breaks your heart. And this is happening every single day. And some of these kids are not found alive. Some don't make it. And I don't think there's ever been a more clear argument for walls, because walls force people to go to points of entry where they can then be processed. That's why a wall works.
Well, look, if we don't have borders, and walls, we don't have countries. North America could be one big, state. And this is, look, a lot of what's happening down there now, it's so sad and tragic because it didn't need to. That video that you showed, I mean, that didn't need to happen. If Biden had come in with an immigration plan from day one, he had a year to campaign on it. All he said is he's going to make changes. He was going to make America more accessible, but he had no plan. And in the absence of a plan, he's created now a humanitarian crisis, which I got to tell you, I'm absolutely perplexed that Kamala Harris and Biden himself have not taken the issue more seriously. They have not addressed it. Kamala Harris has not even gone to the border. Yeah. And so you see this kind of frustration. And I think even Democrats are saying, wait a minute, this is going to be a very difficult issue for us to combat in 2022. And it's probably going to cost us, to a large extent, many seats in the election, particularly along the border states. So it's just, the whole thing is tragic and could have been averted, months ago.
Well, it's going to cost, yeah, you're right. It's going to cost Democrats in the 4 border states. Emerald, what's going on at the White House? This reminds me of the press conference. The Joe Biden press conference took 64 days for him to get out there and finally talk to the press. Kamala Harris, I think it was March 24th, so that'd be 15 days ago that she was tapped to run the crisis at the border. She hasn't held a press conference. She hasn't gone there. She talked to the president of Mexico. We have no idea what they talked about.
Yeah. Well, look, she says she wasn't tapped to run the border crisis. She was tapped to deal with what causes the migration, the quote unquote root causes, is what we constantly hear from her staff, and that she isn't essentially dealing with the border. So they're not dealing with the border, but it was kind of ironic. I'm sure you were watching yesterday during Jen Psaki's press briefing when she was asked about the fact that the administration is now reevaluating those funds that they pulled from the wall, and they might have to restart construction on the wall. She did every kind of tap dance she could around actually saying walls work. She went back to the Democrat talking point of smart technology, but it looks like they're really having to consider reinstituting the funding and maybe actually starting back construction on the wall, which did surprise me because, I mean, look, they knew this was going to happen, so it almost seems as if it's by design.
It's unbelievable.
Amy, but it's heartbreaking. I can't.
You see that video, Amy, we've got about 25 seconds left, but that video, when you see that, shouldn't that be, a big time red flag that maybe the administration, because the American people are going to see that video, we're going to continue to play it. Shouldn't that be a red flag that maybe they should be taking this a little bit more seriously?
Yes, and that's only one scenario. That's only one child. Right. That's only one video out of how many, thousands, I'm sure, all these photos and videos that are actually now coming forward are gut-wrenching. It makes me angry. As a mother of 4, it makes me livid and sick to my stomach. The fact that Kamala Harris has done nothing, and she prides herself on the nickname of being called Mamala by her stepchildren. This is not compassion. This is not parenting. This is not being responsible. And it's atrocious.
Yeah, it really is. God bless you, Emerald.
My allergies.
No, it's that time of year in D.C., absolutely, everywhere. All right, panel, we'll see you guys again at the top of the hour. Really enjoyed the conversation.